So we can deal with you saying that switching will disrupt a lot of that stuff, which is funny because they had this conversation when JJ Redick was on Game to Mind podcast. And I also think it's funny that this is his second attempt at trying to start the conversation around the triangle so, you know, it can catch fire and we can start talking about how, oh man, it would not work. Nobody is buying it. He tried it before, right? So this time is a fan question that came in. Like, I want you to get into the mindset of a fan that if you say, hey, you have one opportunity to ask LeBron James something for his podcast, I want you to get in the mind of a fan that would say, the number one thing I want to ask LeBron James is about the triangle offense. Knowing LeBron James never ran or played against the triangle offense, I want to ask LeBron about the triangle offense. So he wants us to believe that a fan sent this question in and asked him to answer a question about the triangle. That's the first thing he wants us to believe. The second thing he wants us to believe is that last time they had this type of discussion, they had an episode produced based around actions and offenses and all that stuff. And JJ Redick just came out and was like, oh, by the way, somebody asked me this. It was introduced kind of the same way. Somebody supposedly asked JJ Redick about the triangle as well, and they had a conversation about it. But coincidentally enough, it was about switching as well. But JJ said something different than what him and Steve Nash is saying. This is what JJ said.
Somebody asked me this the other day, they're like, triangle concepts. Nobody runs the triangle anymore, right? Does it exist in the NBA? And the truth of the matter, there are still concepts that exist. So we don't, the Chicago cut, which was when you throw it in the post, the guard would cut through, screen in the middle of the paint for the big guy. You don't want to switch that. If you do switch it, you know, Pekovic from Minnesota would catch the ball at 5 feet against me and just jump hook, right? Easy breezy. Teams don't really run the Chicago cut anymore.
So JJ Redick claimed that somebody asked him about the triangle, and he was talking about, you know, basically, you know, he didn't poo-poo it all the way like LeBron and Steve Nash is doing, but he was like, you know, I mean, you could switch some of the actions in the triangle, but when you switch it, you're still going to be at a disadvantage depending on how they counter it and whatever they, you know what I'm saying? They can still get their shot right. So switching is all already accounted for in the triangle. Like, and what LeBron is talking about, switching is effective when you're running high screen and roll every single play, because when you run a high screen and roll, you're supposed to gain an advantage for the ball handlers. The ball handler is supposed to get an advantage because you're running a high screen and roll with a defender that's a likely matchup for the ball handler, right? So when you have a big setting the screen on a little, you got a decision to make. Does that little want to go under the screen and give the ball handler the jump shot? Does he want to go over the screen and chase the ball handler, which is going to make the defender that's guarding the screener have to hedge or switch, which could give up a lob threat, could give up a pocket pass that could lead to a basket, unless the guy all the way from the corner rotates, which now the ball handler can make that pass to the three-point shooter. Like, it's a lot of things that come off that screen and roll action, right? So it causes some problems, and some of those problems are fixed when all 5 men on the floor can defend multiple positions. And now, instead of me trying to hedge or get over or under a screen, now I can just switch it, and the guy that's switching is not at a disadvantage because he also can guard whoever the ball handler is. That's what switching causes trouble for, because it disrupts what you're trying to do with screen and roll actions. When you switch it, I didn't gain no advantage. I didn't get that short roll. I didn't get that lob. You didn't have to come and help off the corner, so I can't make that pass. So now all I got is a switch, and now I'm in ISO situation with maybe a lesser defender that was already on me, but still nonetheless a defender that's capable. So now what am I doing? I'm going to one-on-one, right? So, I mean, that's the only reason why switching is disruptive in this era now. But back then, switching wasn't really disruptive because it was actually counterproductive, because if you switch back then, teams were not afraid to go in the post to their big man. So if my big man come and screen your guard and you switch, Michael Jordan is not going to look at Karl Malone and be like, oh, a mismatch, and I got Luke Longley with a 7-footer with Stockton on him. So there, go right down to that post and throw it in the post, and you either go have to foul or give me a 2-point basket. Right? So they wasn't scared to go in the post back then. Now they get a switch. Now they think the ball handler is the person with the mismatch that's furthest from the goal when you got a 7-footer that's closer with a mouse in the house. Right? So switching actions in the triangle, first of all, you're not going to get a lot of opportunities to switch because we're not running high screen and roll every play. Right? That's not what they do in the triangle. Right? And then if you do switch, you're switching some of these off-ball screens, not on-ball screens. And when you switch off-ball screens, we still account for that because we still can gain an advantage with some of the backdoor cuts and all that stuff. I'm going to show you in some film, right? Let's continue with LeBron.
Depending on your personnel, obviously, that has a lot to do with it. But I think it was great in this time. But I don't see how it could, it could be good. You can use certain things from it.
Yeah,
there's still like you run 21. We run 21 where you pitch it ahead and chase it. That's basically an extended version of kind of the triangle when you hit
taking components.
It's taking component off of it. They used to, MJ would be on the baseline and then, kind of use the Chicago screen off Luke Longley or one of the centers to get a catch in the middle of the lane. There's certain things that have been taken. If you watch our game, there's small little bits that's been taken from the triangle offense that teams and players run that's still there. So it still has an impact in our game. It's just the whole landscape is not. I don't think so.
It'll be interesting.
So most of it is rambling. Like the first part of it is it can't work because of space and pace and the 3-point shooting, which has no effect on how you run your offense. Then he said the switching would make it difficult. Switching is not going to affect the triangle offense. It's not. And you think they didn't think about that in the 90s? They thought about switching as well, right? And furthermore, just look at the Golden State Warriors offense. It's a variation of the triangle. So and it's working well. Right. So switching is not going to work. Now he's talking about all the variations that you see in the NBA basketball now that people are running that they took from the triangle offense, saying that it works. Like it's multiple. So listen to how crazy this sounds. There's multiple pieces of the triangle offense that work still. So let's say it's 12 parts, 12 different. First of all, he don't even know he don't even know the ins and outs of the triangle offense. Right. Remember Michael Jordan doing an interview after that first three-peat with Phil Jackson and Scottie Pippen. I did a video on that. And the interview asked them, how long did it take y'all to get and fully understand the triangle offense? They said 3 years. They said it took them 3 years to fully understand it. That's 3 years of playing in it, 82 games a season, and all of those practices it took. And all of that film work it took for 3 years with Phil Jackson for them to fully understand it as players. And you mean to tell me a player who's never played in it, never played against it, understands it, right? So he's saying there's pieces of it that still that you can see in the league. But if you put all those pieces together, the whole thing don't work.
I'm going to hear Tex his thoughts on how it would adapt to this. What tweaks would it make? Because I think you're right. Like, it's just too punishing.
Yeah.
It's too difficult and too punishing to cover the space and pace game, right?
Does he know the triangle offense is an offense and not a defense? He said it's too difficult to cover the space and pace. You got to be kidding me, Steve Nash. Like, this is what happens when you try to advocate for something that's obviously wrong. But you're trying to advocate it because what y'all see, what y'all objective and goal is, you don't care how you get to that goal. But all the things you're saying to try to get there sounds silly. And this is why Steve Nash ain't a freaking coach now. Did he really just say the space and pace aspect? Like, they're trying to reinforce what made them good. Like, space and pace is the only reason why Steve Nash got MVPs and why he's considered a great. I mean, he's a great player. Like, don't get me wrong, but like, seriously, like the space and pace, you're trying to validate that, and you got 0 finals appearances in that offense. You can't validate that. You can't validate one guy having the ball for most of the shot clock, most of the possession, most of the game, and he's just running around screens and trying to get open threes, and that's it. Like, you just can't validate that. He's trying to help validate. Like, they're all in agreement that, hey, look, man, the more we talk about this and bring down this aspect, it prompts us up. This man just said, space and pace. You just can't run the triangle offense. I'm still trying to figure out how the offense for the other team affects us running the triangle.
You got it. The guys are stretching the floor to the deep corner out.
What difference does it make if they stretch the floor on the other end of the floor? We got the ball now. I don't care what you did on offense. We got the ball now.
The hash marks, guys are flying down. Like, are you in the gaps or you're not? What are you giving up? Like,
This is
some
bad.
people say maybe the game's gotten more homogenized, but like we talked about, it's more the jazz, the feel, play out of principles. That's what's hard to defend.
Right.
You know, when you know what someone's running every time, even with their counters, that predictability can be problematic. Along.
He said, when you know what they're running, even with their counters, there's another guy who never played in the triangle offense. He said, when you know what they're running, even with their counters, it's predictable. So you would rather have, so I want you to get this straight. It's predictable running the triangle offense. So it being predictable means that it should be easier to guard, but unpredictability should be harder to guard. But this is the issue I have with something that's unpredictable. It's not only unpredictable to the defense, so to speak. So you saying it is. As a matter of fact, it's not unpredictable to the defense, because if that's all you're running, then it's even more predictable than the triangle, because the triangle does have counters, right? But when you're running high screen and roll, two guys in the corner and another 3-point shooter, you got three 3-point shooters spreading the floor and one screener and one ball handler run high screen and roll. You either going to roll and I'm going to throw the lob or the pocket pass, or you're going to rotate someone over to stop the roll, and I'm going to throw the pass to the 3-point shot that you just double from, or you're going to screen and pop, right? That's predictable. The only thing that's unpredictable is what the ball handler is going to do. That's the only thing that's unpredictable. But guess what? Guess who else can't predict that? His 4 teammates. So his 4 teammates can't predict it either, right? So you would rather have, and Phil Jackson and Kobe Bryant, they both called it accidental basketball. The reason why it's accidental, because no one really knows what's going to happen. Not even really the ball handler until the last minute, because he's got to read. It's like the read option. Like the quarterback, you call the play, read option, and I got either an option to hand it off to the running back or pull it out and keep it, right? The offensive line don't even know what he's going to do. They just run blocking either way, because once he pull it, the quarterback got to run as well. So the offensive line don't know if the running back's going to get it or if the quarterback's going to keep it. They don't know. They just run block. The running back don't know if he's going to get it or the quarterback's going to keep it, right? And the only way that the quarterback knows what he's going to do is based on when he reads the outside linebacker. If the linebacker commits to the running back getting the ball, then you actually got to put the ball in the running back's breast pocket. You got to put it in there like it looks like just a run. And the running back don't know if you go pull it out or not. So sometimes you see fumbles because the running back will grab it too hard. And when the linebacker commits to the running back, the quarterback will try to pull it out, and they both got too tight of a grip on the ball, and now it's a fumble, right? Accidental basketball. Nobody knows, not even the quarterback knows what he's going to do until he decides, oh, I'm going to pull it out because the running back, the linebacker committed to the running back. So now I pull it out, and I should have that run lane, but if the linebacker stays in that gap, anticipating the quarterback to run it, then he keeps the ball in the running back's chest, and then pretend like he pulled it, and then the running back takes off up the hole, right? That's basically what the high screen and roll offense is. Nobody knows what's going to happen, and the only reason why the ball handler knows is at the last minute when he sees if the guy doubles to stop that roll or if he stays. or if the double cheats over and help to stop the roll if he stays. That's what they call accidental basketball. We'll get Kobe's thoughts on that in a minute. That's accidental basketball. And yes, young disciple, your comment on screen, bro, really think LeBron don't know the triangle offense. Yes, I don't think he know it well enough to be up here telling someone and telling all his followers that it's not going to work in this era. I don't think he knows it that well. I think Kobe knows the triangle offense. I listen to what Kobe said about it, what Phil said about it, somebody who played in it and knows it in and out. I listen to what they say versus someone who never played in it.
With the switching. So I'd love to hear him know like how he would tweak it.
Yeah, I mean, Tex is so great. I guarantee he could, you know, what would be, you know, it's like almost like, you know, like Bill Walsh, you know, running the West Coast offense. Like they're running, you know, he would probably, you know, what would he do if he would make it to what it looks like today's game, you know, but running it exactly how they ran it, you know, in the 90s and early 2000s, I just don't.
Yeah, too easy to defend. You're forcing a lot of twos, a lot of long twos.
He said too easy to defend and you forcing twos. What's wrong with the two?
It's just not a fit for this era, but it would be interesting to know.
It will be interesting.
Where he
that is not smart. Steve Nash will never get a job again. Not talking like that. That is not smart. There's something wrong with twos. I'm so glad Joe Dumars is changing this game back to what it's supposed to be. This junk is changing. All right. Good luck with people who think like that. He said it's just too easy to defend. What the hell? It's 6 championships with the Bulls, 5 championships with the Lakers. That's 11 championships. Wow, it's too easy to defend, huh? That's interesting. In a league that don't play defense, it's too easy to defend. In a league that switch everything and give you mismatches. The only reason why the mismatches can't get exploited is because of that way of thinking. A coach will coach a team to get a switch on a screen and have a 7-footer with a mismatch, and they tell that 7-footer to go to the corner so the ball handler can do a dribble drive and try to get a layup or a dish out. Like, imagine Muggsy Bogues playing in this era. He would have never came out of the game because if they would have switched screens, Muggsy Bogues would have been guarding Yao Ming, and in this era, Yao Ming would have had to go to the corner while whoever the point guard is can exploit whoever just switched on him. Muggsy Bogues would be like, shoo, I'm glad they didn't take me in the post at 5'3". Right? So that's idiotic.